What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Average Bob, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the 49-17 routing of the Cowboys versus the Giants tonight. Another just beat down. The Giants, the season really ended last weekend when the Giants went to Las Vegas and played the Raiders and got shit stomped by a team that had completely fired their coach, general manager, and benched their starting quarterback for like a fifth-round rookie. So getting your ass kicked last week was really the end of the season for the Giants and a pretty winnable game versus the Raiders. The season was over then, and then you come out and now you play the Cowboys and you get absolutely destroyed, 49-17. The season's over. And honestly, I think it's kind of like a metaphor, right? Or like, I don't even know what I'm looking for here, but like the season never really even got started. The season ended essentially week one after the first drive of the first game when the Giants came down and they had the blocked field goal for a touchdown. That was pretty much the end right then and there. You had one win versus the Cardinals, and then you had the win against the Commanders, who you see next weekend too. Don't look really that bad. They look like they'll smack you around for sure. So I wouldn't expect anything else, even though they sold like some of their best guys, like whatever, Sweat and Young. But anyway, to touch about this game with the Cowboys, another painful loss. The Giants have been outscored 89-17 in 2 games so far this year. It's pretty much embarrassing. And usually in these videos, I do spend some time talking about the highlights, but I don't want to talk about the Cowboys too much here. I know all you Cowboys fans are going to come in and talk shit in the comments. So good for you. Hopefully we see you guys have a great playoff run like you guys normally do. But hey, who knows? Maybe you'll go against the 49ers and get your ass kicked again. But we'll see. And come back and let me know how the playoffs go for you guys this year, because I'll be watching. But anyway, go back to the Giants. We're gonna have a very high pick. I think with the Cardinals win today, the Giants move to second in the second pick in the overall draft. And what's gonna happen with this? Who do we trust to even make these picks? And like I said in my preview video, how hot is the seat for Briand Daboll here? Will they trust him in bringing him back? A lot could happen between now and the end of the season. It's happened for previous Giants coaches in the past, where shit in second years could spiral out of control. You saw it at this point. I think it was towards the end of the third quarter or early in the fourth quarter. You had Shepard and Slayton on the sideline yelling at each other, which is Sterling did score a touchdown at the end of the game. But besides that, like him and Slayton, they don't do anything. They don't really even, they're not factors at any point in the Giants offense. Not that really anyone is besides 26. So what are they possibly fighting about? Tommy DeVito takes shots and they're intercepted, and then you get the coach screaming at him. It's like, I don't know. I personally would rather see my quarterback take a shot downfield to a guy we drafted in, the third round last year and see what he can do. Like even if you throw an interception on a 40, 50-yard bomb, that's still further than the shitbag Scottish Hammer will punt it. So, like, what's the point of even, trying to run it 3 yards on a 3rd and 7 and punting? Just why not take a shot? Because how many times have we seen teams throw it downfield like you see here? That was a pretty good route by 83. But the Giants needed to take more shots. They're on their third string quarterback, who really is his first start. You saw his parents at the game. There really wasn't too much for him to hang his hat on. Like, besides that, I don't know. It's like, what were the expectations going into this game? So Tommy DeVito finished 14 for 27, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Dak, over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Didn't even play the fourth quarter. And then you get McCarthy, the coach, who's like, we'll see how he coaches in the playoffs. But he can't coach his way out of a paper bag when it actually matters, and he's taking shots downfield trying to run up the score. That's pretty embarrassing. And if I was Daboll, I probably would have had a little bit more choice words for him, because this is the last time you're going to see this team this year. But you probably should let him know that this happened and this is the end, and it's never going to happen again. And that is my main concern moving forward. Is Daboll the guy to fix this? Because what happens next year, you start off versus the Cowboys and you're down 3 or 4 touchdowns again. You're not going to last many games. You're going to be gone. It's a very quick league that is very not for long, and it's very reactionary. But the thing is, at the end of the day, as you guys have seen throughout since Coughlin, there's been McAdoo, there's been Shermer, there's been Joe Judge, and now we're on Daboll. And there have been a couple really consistent things throughout that, and that's really the ownership and the lack of accountability from the ownership in really doing what it takes to be successful. They haven't done that. They've proven in the last 10 or 11 years now that they can't run a team, and honestly, there's just too many family members that are working in this organization that by all means aren't qualified to be there. And it's just nepotism, whether you see it with the Giants in a a private company. And there's just, once you get to a certain point of having a family run business and there's too many people there that weren't from the start of that business and have lose sight about what it was really about, and they just kind of walk into a job and are given to it, leads to not good things happening. And that's what you've seen the last 10 years. And unfortunately, what happens when you do have a lot of family members working in your business, you can't fire them because they are your family. So I'm not the first person to say this, but I just did want to echo it again, because there's going to be a lot to talk about, how this has happened at this point where we're 10 games in. We just pretty much got into November and the season's kind of already been over. So we're back to the norm of where we've been the last 10 years. Nothing's really changed. Offensive line still can't block. And that's been the case for a number of years now. So when will it change? I don't know. All I know is hopefully you can maybe squeeze out a win on the road in Washington next weekend. All right. Thanks for watching.